All right. I'd like to bring the City of Harrington regular city council meeting to order. It is currently 7:01. Good evening.
Good evening.
If we can, do a visual roll call. We have all council members here with the exception of Janice, who is excused. We have no visitors in the audience at this time. Say pledge of allegiance. Get rolling.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With mayor and council's permission, I'm going to sit back by that a little bit. We're trying different microphones, ones that David at least remembers. I can go over why later. But I'm going to babysit that for a little bit from the back since we don't have visitors and stuff.
Okay.
Objects. I'll be up when I'm confident.
Okay. Do we have any additions to tonight's agenda?
I think the only thing, you're gonna cover the sewer project?
Yes.
The line, okay.
Yep. Any additions, Chris?
No, I don't think so.
None from me.
Okay.
Not for the main meeting, just for the workshop portion of it.
Okay, no additions. We'll move on to approving the minutes for April 10th, last meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
There's a first and a second to approve the April 10th minutes. Do we have any discussion?
When I skimmed through them earlier, I thought I saw something, but I wasn't in a position to mark it. So I'm just gonna go through it real quick here. This is April,
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
April 10th, this is.
For the record, I had no. I read through it.
Okay, thank you. Funny. Okay.
I think it's okay. Did you see it, Chris? Okay.
Yeah.
If there's no further discussion, all in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
No opposed, thank you. And we can move on to the observation of the new claims, or I'm sorry, observation of the check register from last time, which is over on the corner.
Oh,
Just to make sure that everyone Has the opportunity to
Oh,
see that and
that's-
compare against the check register from last time.
There's a few items that were added, weren't they, or not? Maybe, I'm good.
Okay.
Did you see
If
that?
everyone's good, we can move
I'm
on.
looking at it.
Okay, you should also have the new claims to go out, which I believe is also printed out here.
So,
So
I
as
make a-
much as it has been in the past.
can I make a motion to approve as
Yes.
presented?
Yes. Thank you, David.
The only question I have is That's-
Discussion? Go ahead, yep.
the Harrington House Tavern Sewer, 8,003, that's supposed to be the total. If you follow my, I get it, if you follow the,
It's only 600.
Yeah, that, yeah,
So, I know what
that
you
number
mean.
got carried up one
Yeah.
spot for some reason. No, that's,
I figured it out. The Harrington House Tavern is just a memo.
oh, yeah, and what happened is on the claims that.
Oh, I'm sorry, short.
So it looks like it was an $8,000.
Oh,
So, I pretty much figured it, I knew it wouldn't.
sorry about that.
But that's okay, I just.
I just thought we were flushing money down the drain.
Good one, Stephen.
It automatically told
Yeah, so in other words, that's just a memo for what this was for.
me.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Kaiser's the, oh dear.
Kaiser was 605, and that, the Harrington House is just a memo, basically describing what.
That's what they
happened.
charge to bring the
There
snake
was
out.
There was a
And
bill.
I don't know if
Oh,
that's
really?
once or
Okay.
twice, but the first time was that on a Sunday or?
Don't you just
it
love
was on a
computers?
Sunday.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So, you know, it was as expensive
Little-
as it could have been.
yeah.
So,
Oh, that was the balloon thing, right?
yeah, but they've had to do that twice. Okay, any other questions, comments, discussion with regard to the claims?
Yeah, I have a couple. So, I don't know if I'm just forgetting things in my old age, but I don't remember property taxes being a line
You have it
item
over there.
before. Maybe I forgot it every year, but I don't remember us doing, why do we do property
That's
taxes? I thought?
correct.
I saw that also, and I was going to look into it, because I don't think we've ever paid them in the past, but those are allocated towards
Right.
the cemetery property
Kaiser did the work for
Yeah.
Harrington
and
House.
Johnson's Towing,
So
which are
basically, that's
both
just a
outside
memo.
of city limits.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
I was
Yeah,
gonna,
no worries.
I just saw that today, so I was gonna query that, but I think that's the reason why.
Yeah, but
I was just gonna have a little chuckle over that.
I thought that our exemption as a tax-free entity extends to anything that we own, not where it is. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but we could buy property in downtown Seattle and be tax exempt is what I thought.
It will be, it'll have to be researched. I know that that's what the bill was for, and yes, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know that I can vote to approve that when that's, I mean, if that's a new policy, I'd like to know what changed.
Okay.
I'd like, you know, if there was
May I see that
a
again?
vote, an ordinance or something that, or whatever, ordinance, but if the county passed some kind of a resolution or something that changed it, I'd like to have that under our belt before we do that.
Okay.
it's less that I doubt that it's proper and more I'd just like to understand why now.
Need a clarification on that, is what you're looking for?
Yeah, do you remember ever seeing property tax?
No.
I don't remember ever seeing property tax.
Now, that's not to say it was hidden under another title or something of that nature.
We had it last year.
We did. Okay. Would have been paid around April of last year, do you think, Donna?
It's the same formula. I've got it, Steven, if you want to see it.
No, like I said, maybe I just forgot it.
It just-
April's always a busy month.
It is, but like, if it was paid prior to our current clerk and mayor and everybody, I mean,
Last year, I know.
it could have been in there, but under a different heading or something.
It's changed over the last number of years how things surface.
I'd be kind of curious, did it go up?
Yeah, did they value, did our assessment value on the cemetery go up?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's depreciating up there, but.
Goodness.
Okay, I still have questions, but I will vote to approve. It looks like this is something we have consistently done. I just did not remember doing it. The lagoons, State Route 28 property,
It's broke down in there.
water tower,
We shouldn't be charged for the water tower.
says Block 79 Southern add water tower.
Is there, and that's $4?
Yeah, I mean, none of this is
No.
huge
you're-
money,
Okay.
but
That's all I paid in property tax.
No kidding.
maybe I should live in a water tower, it'd be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was one of the two. The other thing I was curious about is I know Kaiser's been around for a lot of things lately, so this isn't a question of whether it's valid, but which things were we doing with that Kaiser listing? That 60588, was that the Harrington House?
Yeah, that was to
Okay.
clear the line.
All right,
Yeah.
I didn't know if there were other things that we were doing as well, so. okay,
No, we've
I'm
not
good.
hired, the city has not hired them directly to do anything.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions or discussion?
I'm good on that one.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Fine.
And thank you. Okay, did everyone have a chance to review the McGregor building lease?
Mm-hmm.
The McGregor, yeah.
So
I didn't
last
get a copy
time-
of it.
Oh, it was in your emails.
I didn't get an
Yeah, let me
email.
get on that. Did you get a computer?
Yes, I've got it. Last thing that is on there is when Stephen,
Is
Play
it
with
still,
it.
is it still being a problem for you? I
yeah.
mean,
Okay, let's take a look.
Okay.
So you have it
Oh,
connected
it came,
do you have it connected to Wi-Fi at home?
yeah. Okay, now this is all new. I didn't have it before I left the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, all that. The last thing that was on there was when you did a test 2 weeks ago.
It must not be getting internet connection at your house. I'll drop by sometime and I'll look at what's happening in your house because I think as soon as it got internet here, it popped up.
Popped up.
Has this been lawyer approved? I mean, this is the final.
This is the one that was
Okay.
done last year. It's just been updated.
Okay.
The only difference from what we spoke about 2 weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
and now is after he reviewed it, and if you look in paragraph 1.3, there's an addition of sentence C. So he needs a 2-year lease. If he's on a 1-year lease, it puts him in an awkward situation with the state. So the consensus was, due to some input from some people smarter than I am, that at the end of the first year, we can redo it for another 2-year term. So basically break this lease in the halfway through and do a new 2-year term, which effectively fits what you guys wanted. You wanted a 2-year lease with a 1-year option.
Mm-hmm.
So this gets us to the same place, but it modifies it so it fits his requirements.
Okay, he's fine with that 2-year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we left the price where it's at.
At
and
12, yep.
We got the adjustment shown out. Okay, that's perfect. He didn't have no problems with that,
No.
consumer price. Okay, I think that is. And this will be site, when does this take effect?
End of May.
Into May, that's when the signing, yeah. Commence on 6/1, yeah. Did he have any other concerns? Roughly, I mean, any,
He would rather have, the 5-year lease, but he understands. Secondarily to that, I did ask him about the leak in the roof, and he disclosed that it actually isn't that big of a leak. It's not much more than just a drip, and when they were living there, it was a little bit annoying, but now he's just got a bucket underneath it. But I told him we would still do our part and get up there, and I said, we're probably just gonna put, a Flex Seal patch and,
I'll still go up there.
yeah.
Flex Seal.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a chemical goop to seal it up and not worry about it again.
So it's really
Did Billy
nothing.
Mays hawk that one?
No,
Billy Mays.
No, I think that was
after.
after he
Oh,
died.
okay.
We could put OxyClean on the roof, but I don't think that would work as well. Make it shine.
Plumber's putty. That was
Yeah.
breaking.
Yep.
Stuff works.
That'll do.
So security deposit, does he,
He's never had one.
okay. But there's no other complaint or concern as far as heaters, water, sewer, door hit, I mean, just any incidentals, there's no complaints or say that we should be looking at or brought to our attention at this time?
No.
Okay.
I mean, other than what he's already mentioned, there's a small hole in the roof that would be nice to get patched. It's not critical, and then it would not be a bad idea to get up there with some screws because some of the nails have been backing out that holding the siding on.
Well, I'm sure it's not from the wind we've been getting.
No, not at all. The only other concern I think we resolved, and it had to do with our gravel filter next door.
Uh-huh.
And I think the new design will alleviate the problem. So it's not really a problem for him as far as the lease is concerned, but it's more of a problem for us to make sure that we're good neighbors.
Has there anything been said about or brought to attention a fencing or a screening fence around that? That is not, nobody's,
He's got the fence and the area fence that he needs for his impound.
okay.
So
So we're not on the hook for any of that?
it's everything that's up there
Okay.
he's got what he needs at this
Okay.
point.
Okay. I'm just not complaining, I'm just trying to bring stuff up to address if last minute or
Yeah.
before we get caught. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, if our attorney has looked through it and legal has, we have their blessing, and it
Yeah.
looks like what we wanted is,
Yeah, since this is,
So we're
this
good.
is our attorney's lease to begin with,
okay.
so I don't feel like I didn't see any reason to spend money and have it reviewed.
No, I mean, at one time, I mean,
Oh, yeah, this
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, because he when we redid that the first time, Bingaman wrote the whole thing.
right, because I had presented
Right.
a lease to be considered, and he effectively said, oh, that's cute. Said it was deficient, so this is his.
okay, almost.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to move and approve the lease for the McGregor Building. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. All right. Okay, next on our agenda. Okay.
City Hall?
There is an inland asphalt
Oh,
company
Uh,
bid proposal in your package.
we changing the agenda.
Oh, did I miss something?
City Hall lease.
City Hall lease. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, we
let's-
back
let's
up
do
a
this.
little more.
Oh, let's do the City Hall lease, that's right, I just totally skipped it.
No worries. I'm not trying to. You go where you want. I just,
Okay, Stephen pointed out a couple typographical errors. The printed copy that is on the table has corrected them. One was grammatical, one was dramatical
For,
for the lease.
Oh.
I put incorrect dates
I mean,
on,
like,
on the first page. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's what I spotted, I just
Yeah,
want,
exactly. So that, the copy that is on the table is corrected, or unless that's the one.
That's the one.
So it starts on August 1st, but the end date I had is July of 2024, and it's 2026, so.
so it starts, what was our original, was it did we sign I got into
It was
that.
a 1 year.
It was a 1 year?
Yep, we just did a 1 year because so
Okay.
much stuff was up in the air.
That's what I thought. So, and it expires basically July of this year, and so
Mhm.
August 1st is gonna be a new,
Right. And the offer, like we talked about, or no, we didn't talk about it because I went to him after the last meeting. So basically, it's the same lease we had, but it's now a 2-year lease. He does want, at the start of the second year, he wants an increase based on the consumer price index, but it is capped at 7%. We didn't put a basement in it, I don't think it's gonna matter. But that's effectively where that went to.
at the end of 2 years, or start of 2 years, did you say?
At the second year.
Okay,
So first year is at 800, second year is, we added the cost price index. And there was one paragraph in there that was relevant a year ago that we removed.
that we could cancel on a moment's notice,
Basically,
is
yes,
that the one?
that's what got removed. It was 1C, which you'll see is gone in there. Yeah, what got removed was in the event the tenant is able to relocate to its own property before July 30th, 2024, tenant may provide a 90-day written notice of lease termination. So that's,
I just
That's
got a quick, thank you, I got a quick question on utilities, given this premises. Are water and sewer, how does that figure in? Tenant shall pay all charges for water and sewer. Is that,
Since-
we got two,
Well, there is no sewer charge because it goes back to us, right?
Yeah.
It isn't billing. Although if we needed to, this is a separate discussion, but if we needed to for some kind of an auditing report, maybe we should bill to ourselves just to represent it as a service. But
The upstairs,
that would be a separate. Does the upstairs have a sewer charge? I believe they're separate meters, so the water I'm pretty sure has all been.
There might be a problem with the meters. I'm not certain.
how do we meter
Oh.
the sewer?
But okay, yeah, I do. This building I think had no meter. Yeah, but they still do have a base water service charge, right?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. And that is not, for any people listening, this is by no means the only building in Harrington that doesn't have a meter. It's not favoritism, it's just left over from how things have always been. Something that we need to get corrected as we do meters in this city is to put meters on that. I don't think that there's hardly any chance they're going to exceed the $5,000, 5,000 gallon base limit because they have no lawn to care for up there. So
They got
something's
this-
very wrong if they're having to pay anything more than the base charge.
There's one heck of a leak.
Yeah, one heck of a leak. I'll move the adoption of the contract, put it into discussion at least.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have first and a second, and further discussion.
Just so it's in the minutes, what is the exact price that they're paying for this next year?
We?
Yeah, that they're paying this next year.
I don't know what they're,
$800 is what it was.
We're paying them $900 next year.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that was what the consumer price index was.
No, that was based on pure economic reality for them. Like we've all seen our tax assessment affect the properties, they were not immune to that. And I can tell you, I know that their insurance cost went up dramatically. I mean, I don't know personally, but I can tell you from watching other similar buildings within my professional industry, they've seen 30, 40, 50% rate increases.
Okay,
So,
I just thought it would be good to have it in the minutes.
yeah.
What it was.
I mean, most of us, I personally had a 25% increase. I think I was on the lower end from what I heard of my home insurance.
Oh, yeah.
And then tax evaluation, that went up a huge amount.
Mine
So-
doubled.
Yeah.
Mine was 100% on the taxes. My home insurance went up 80%.
So the fact that going forward this is capping at CPI puts us into a more advantageous situation going forward than in this little bump between the two.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I'm good at this time. I think we
Okay.
just briefly,
Okay. If we don't have any other further discussion then, all in favor of signing the lease as presented for the city hall, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Somebody forgot to lock the door.
Hey!
Hey, Joe.
That was mean.
Aye. That's nice. Hi, Joe.
Okay, now we're at the inlet asphalt. So, as you guys know, with all the different water breaks and what have you, there's been a number of holes put in our roads.
see
It's
that?
beginning to look a little bit like Swiss cheese out there, so I asked them to come out, just from an economical point of view, having a company come out and patch them all at once. So that is what we got a bid for. There is one clarification where the second line item for $1,200, there's a private citizen who has to replace the Orangeburg sewer line that they have, which makes a connection out in the middle of the street. So that $1,200 will be passed on to them. We'll be responsible for it up front, but that will come back to us from that homeowner.
Was it on their property, you said?
No, it's in the middle of the street. It's where the connection is. They've got to cut a hole. They've got to cut a patch 14 feet long by 4 feet wide to get at. They might be able to go narrower than that, but at this point, that's it. So that's the. But I mean,
Well, I guess my question is why are they paying if it's on city? If it's,
They knew that they were going to pay for it, but they knew that we were having stuff done anyway. And so I figured it's more economical for everyone involved. Instead of them having to pay to have somebody come out and repave that one section, that if we've got somebody coming out with a full load of asphalt, we can do it all at once and they just pay their portion of share. And fortunately, when the asphalt broke their portion out.
So logistically, that hole's gonna have to be ready to close by the time they come out. So is the homeowner, have we coordinated, like, do they have a contractor ready to go so that
Yes.
when the asphalt
Well, okay,
is
so
comes a trucking, it needs to be done?
so it'll be DW will do the work.
Okay.
And they will we'll just do the same thing that we've done with all of our spaces. We just fill it up with gravel, and the day of, they'll just come and scrape off that top 3-4 inches of gravel and then put it down.
Okay.
so DW's doing the prep on all the patches?
No,
Just that
just that one private homeowner's
Okay.
space. And it's on a side road. It's not a major road. It's just a side crossover road.
And that's something that our public works guy can't do.
It's not that they can't do it. It's just the
Equipment.
cost and the equipment, and some of these need to be.
Prohibitive.
It'd take them too long. These guys are going to be able to put it down, roll it over, seal it, move on. They'll do that all in one day.
He says it's a 14-foot long by 4 foot wide or
Yeah.
deep? 4 foot wide.
Yes. That particular, if that's following what I believe, it only has to be 3 inches deep there, or the actual asphalt.
It's usually,
It's not the state road, which we'll talk about later, which I carved a hole in, or I didn't, but there was a hole put in. It's like 2nd and Sherlock to fix a water leak, and that was a good 3 feet of asphalt. 6 inches of asphalt.
how deep was the line? Well, you'll talk
4
about
feet,
it.
but yeah. So this is a proposal. This is not this is just, that's out there. We've got all this stuff going on. We do need to get our roads patched. There's at least 2 up at the school. There's one up on Adams. They're gonna cut across the road on Olaf,
Mm-hmm.
where we just put in a new sewer main. So.
I'd like to have my driveway done.
We'll talk to them while they're here.
Yeah.
Years ago, somebody cut into it for access to the manhole cover. and it warped it. It's bad.
Think how much money you'd save if you do your whole yard. No watering.
Oh yeah. Well, I just got that grass coming back.
You won't get yelled at for driving on the lawn.
Yeah.
So is this, Mayor, did we, is this the only company that you reached out to, or?
Yeah, I got this on a recommendation. They are local to the area, so whether they're in Spokane Valley based, but this is their servicing area. But I've not gotten comparative bids. I did check this number out with one of our city engineers, and he was like, that's not surprising. It's what they see all the time.
Wasn't there somebody local, Joe, that did asphalt here? Or am I thinking of something else in Lincoln County? Started up in the last like 5 years, probably.
The city's done, sorry.
No, I can't remember, I don't know.
I know we've contracted with Black Diamond before,
That's it. There's Shamrock and
Shamrock too.
there's,
I can get some competitive bids. I mean,
well, I just, Yeah, is this, that is the bid that includes mileage and the time they open their eyes in the morning until they get here and go back?
yep.
I mean, there's no
And
hidden,
this, I think you'll read in there too. This has a shelf life on it.
15 days, I think, wasn't it?
I think it was 30. I think we're 15 days from when he got it to me now. I guess the bid was on the April 16th.
I read that, but where in the world is it?
I don't specifically have a problem with it. I don't track with asphalt prices enough to know how much they've gone up lately and whether to be suspicious of that or not. But I don't know if one competitive bid would be a bad thing to grab. I'm sure that our city engineer sees pretty high stuff, but I don't know, maybe for a small job someone wants it, but if they're coming from Spokane, no one's going to want it that much probably.
Well, tell you what, I will reach out. And I'll get
Well, if nothing
solicit
else-
another.
If nothing else, a citizen come in and question this, well, why is it so much or whatever, and you say, well, here's the other, that's the going rate. There's 3 others or couple here to compare.
Yeah.
I did see that I thought it was 15, maybe that was that the MKB contract or something? No. Maybe I'm just not seeing it here. Okay, bid includes traffic control, no saw cutting, so,
It's the very first one. Due to the volatility of asphalt oil, it's in red. This price shall be withdrawn if not accepted within 15 days.
yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah, right in front of me.
So that's already shot then?
no, we basically have to the end of the month.
Okay. Well, you said earlier it was 15 days since we received it, so I was just curious.
My only concern is, or one of my concerns, is it says no saw cutting. To what extent is there prep? Because I know there's a couple patches out here, one on 4th exactly, for sure. Theoretically, it should be a lot bigger than what that jagged hole is.
Well, I think Ken said for those ones that need to be squared up, he would go up there and just trim them up and get them squared off.
Do we have a saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do, okay.
Well, let's just
Okay.
get, like you guys said, let's get another bid to see, where this stands.
I would recommend it.
Yep.
Not that I'm trying to give you more work to do.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's my job. I mean, the reason I put it on the agenda was because I knew that this was going to be, I think just when I saw it, I knew it had to be on here so we could talk about it while this was still fresh. But that's fine. We can, I mean, there's no houses falling into the sea, so, we can sit on this for a little bit.
Yeah, we fixed Willis.
Yes, we did.
Now we got Sherlock.
Okay, so why don't we just table that for the time being?
That's,
Fair?
okay.
Okay. The other, just in the interest of time, I'm just going to address these. We'll talk about the MKB contract at a later time. The reason the LGIP interest is on here is we're going to need to look at taking that interest that has been accumulating out of that fund. The only reason I don't have specific numbers for you right now is we have to find out exactly how much of that fund is the cemetery endowment.
What percentage?
Yeah, because if we take out, let's just say hypothetically, we took out $10,000, you have to split that out. That percentage is gonna go to the cemetery maintenance, and then the rest of it would go into the general fund for other things. But until we have that exact percentage, I don't wanna, that's a genie left best in the can for this time.
I looked into that a few months ago, and I'm trying to think of what I did.
Are you interested in digging into that some more? I did find a document from Stan that outlined a bunch of the historical stuff that had happened, but it's the day-to-day stuff. According to our ordinances, a percentage of every senate or funeral goes into the endowment fund. So, endowment fund specifically for the cemetery. So,
There was an ordinance breaking that down, like great opening closings. So much
Yeah.
went here, so it kind of like, I think maybe at least 2, if not 3 different places.
Yeah. So realistically, it's probably about 2/3 of that overall fund is the cemetery endowment. But I'd like to have an exact number before we even start doing that. But we're at that point where we need to, as I was pointing out to Donna, some of these monies that we've been spending have been sitting there. COVID money, for example, has just been sitting in there waiting to be allocated and spent.
I thought we got rid of that.
Nope. No. We're almost done. But like I said, so we've been drawing down funds, but there've been funds that have been sitting in there that necessarily haven't been ours to use for general purposes. So anyway, something that's gonna gain some traction, and I'll try to communicate with you guys. And David, if you can help
Yeah.
finding.
I'll look at it again. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Because, well, from the get-go, I wasn't really in favor of just taking all of it and throwing it in one pot, because we run into this.
Right.
However, and I don't even know how much is legal. If we're doing it legally, to be honest with you.
Well, we'd have to go dig back into
And I don't wanna-
our ordinances for.
We'll find it.
We'll find it. Okay. Okay, we didn't have any additions to the agenda. I will go through my mayor's comments real quick, unless, does our visitor have any comments or things to share with you?
I really don't, unless you guys have any questions, so.
Oh, Liz, have plenty.
Oh.
Okay. I've got a list, I'm just gonna hit them and we can talk, if you have anything, just, we can flag them and talk about them when I'm done. First off, we have a new employee. We were lucky enough to find another qualified person to work as our Public Works number 2 person. They will also be taking over the role of our janitorial services. So basically what Casper was doing, this person will be doing, except for they're much more knowledgeable, capable, and he's given us 2-week notice at his current job. He did work yesterday because it was his day off. So he helped with our project up next to the grain elevators. The city will be getting the equipment. It's a pretty reasonable rent. We will be sweeping the city on the 30th. So here next week.
So we're picking up the county and state sand.
Yes, their donation to us. Yep.
We'll drop it back off at the courthouse.
Okay, we had a water leak appear at about 2nd and Sherlock. And that's how we know that the saw that we have will reach 6 inches, because it was able to get almost to the very bottom of it and a couple of taps with the backhoe and it knocked it free. So they got that pulled out. It was a 2-inch pipe. It was about 4 feet down. They got it patched and then got it filled up and it's done. Fortunately, we didn't have the problem that you'd mentioned because it was freaking Ken out a little bit. Harrington House, the sewer blockage has been located. We got the new camera and it's found it pretty quickly. There was basically a collapse or a shift or whatever you want to call it, but there was a blockage where the pipe that services the 3 building or the 3
Buildings.
well
The establishments?
three establishments, yeah, the base, where it joined the 6-inch main was impaired. So you can see he's got it dug up. Hopefully by this time tomorrow, that is a thing of the past, except for another hole in the asphalt to patch. But I don't know if you guys realize, but the soccer games resumed here at the school this last weekend. The city supplied a couple of garbage cans up there just to pick up all the stuff. They filled up over the weekend, so it was well received to have
No.
those up there filled with all the stuff.
That's good.
We're mapping out the utility past due process so we can have it all written out as a process. We're going to start doing that where I think the past mayor and I have put enough notices in the utility bills, it's time. So May, I believe off the top of my head, it's a 14-day notice is going to go out. And I'm going to send those out in May. So, or we are going to send them out as May.
Excellent.
Yes. We reset the toilet, the women's toilet up at the county park last weekend. It wasn't quite sealed enough, so we took it back offline. Today we reset it with some more vigor, if you will. We'll know tomorrow afternoon when Ken goes and turns it on and flushes it to make sure it's not leaking. So, just waiting for some silicone to get set. And last but not least, we have, as far as the COVID funds are concerned, they were largely expended by our emergency over-the-ground deal in 22. Yeah, can't believe it was that long ago already. We were able to use another big chunk of it for Willis Street. At this point, we have $6,765 left of COVID funds to use or lose. So
Can you buy pizza with it?
I don't know that that's the infrastructure they're talking about. So that's all I got.
Sounds good.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
First and a second, any discussion? All in favor of adjourning at 7:51?
Aye.
All right.
All right.